In this video, I want to talk about how we're attracting our dream clients. Now, if you are in the coaching, consulting, agency, training space, you probably are hearing things like the cost of acquisition is going up, people are experiencing higher churn with their clients, and that the agency world, the agency market, the landscape of consulting is a red ocean, and that there are very little differentiators out there. Now, in some ways, all of that is true, and in some ways, that happens as a result of you not knowing how to attract your dream clients. So what I want to talk about is 3 things that I think are really important that we're applying to our business inside of our content, some of which has already rolled out in videos that you've probably already watched, and our ads and all of our marketing and organic content that has actually led to, in the last 30 to 60 days, an uptick in our sales conversations, uptick in our sales conversion, and really an uptick in the quality of conversations we're having from people coming to us saying, hey, like everything you're saying, speaking to me. And I've also spoken to a few of your quote unquote competitors, and I vibe with you a lot more, and I'd like to work with you. So that's been the result of these things that we're going to be talking about today. And again, this is something that's working for us, and I believe is going to be important for most of you if you are an agency or a service provider, freelancer, consultant in the marketplace today. Now, I can't take full credit for these concepts because I actually learned them from a friend named James Kemp. Now, the recipe that we're kind of applying inside of our marketing messaging to attract our ideal clients is 3 things. Now, the first ingredient is really about talking to the identity of the prospect, our ideal client, when they've achieved the outcome. So in our world, a lot of people have the traditional agency model. And we preach and teach a different model, which is called the alt agency model. It is a hybrid between services and training and online education. Now, when someone makes that transformation, the way they operate their business, the problems, the results, the way they show up in the world is going to be a lot different. And so in my marketing, in our marketing, as we're talking about right now, we need to paint a picture for our audience as to what it looks like, feels like to be an alt agency owner. And we need to paint a picture of that future possibility, identify with our current prospects and show them what it looks like to become that person and talk about what it looks like to become that person. Because the thing that James said to me that was really profound was, in order to become the next version of yourself, you actually have to let go of the old, right? And you have this identity right now. And if you don't know what to reach to, what new identity to reach for, to become, it's really difficult to be willing to let go of the old identity. And that's why we see a lot of our clients that come in and they don't clearly get a picture of where they're going. And it's so much easier to resort back to the traditional way of operating an agency, which is basically take any client that will give you money and do whatever they ask you, versus being an expert in something and going to find clients to solve that specific problem. So the first recipe that we're following, that I think you might want to follow too, is start thinking about how you can speak to that future identity, speak to that future possibility of who your ideal client will become after working with you. That's the first one. The second thing is to then talk about your unique mechanism or your vehicle, your proprietary process that will actually get them there. So you see a lot of tactical claims and things like that. If you scroll through any sort of social media, how to get 100 appointments, or we'll help you get 100 appointments and yada, yada, yada with 4 seconds of work and you do nothing and all these, bold claims. But you see a lot of those similar claims from a lot of similar people. And at some point, and we're already seeing this, is if you say the same thing as everybody else, the how you get there is actually going to be pretty important. So your way of doing things, your way of work, your approach is actually really important. I think comes second to that identity, right? There's going to be a lot of people that want your mechanism, want your pathway, but they actually care about a different outcome that you might disagree with. Those are actually not qualified prospects. So when we find someone in our world that is kind of the scale or die mentality and all they care about is money, and arguably they're not even married or have kids or care about any of those things, like they're really not our people, because our business, the ethos and the beliefs that all agency owners have is to build their business around their life. And that creates interesting challenges and constraints that allow you to get creative to build as big of a business as you want without compromising your family, your hobbies, and your personal life, your health, and things like that. And And so if we find someone that's like, hey, I love the concept of how you talk about productization, I want to do that, and it's for all of the wrong reasons that we disagree with, that's a person that we will not accept as a client because we have a choice. And so I think finding the right clients is about being able to identify who those right clients are. And usually it's the ones that you share, not butt heads with, that you share a mutual mindset, you share values and beliefs that align with each other. So that core identity is aligned. So they want to become what your unique mechanism will help them achieve. So once we've talked to the identity, we get to talk to the second recipe, which is our unique mechanism. What is our system, our proprietary roadmap that's going to get them there? And we have a step-by-step process, a roadmap that goes through multiple phases to show them how to go from where they're at right now to becoming an alt agency owner and having a 20 to 30 hour work week. They love their business. They're getting results. They have recurring revenue, high profit margin with plenty of time to work on the things that matter most to them, hobbies, life, etc., with a very lean and mean team. They don't want to have a very large people operation. They want to be lean, high profit. So first ingredient, identity, second ingredient, mechanism, and the third ingredient is proof. Like, can you show examples of yourself as the first best case study, but also other clients that you've worked with that this mechanism has worked for? Show proof of clients you've worked with in the past that have achieved that outcome. Now, what's interesting about the proof piece is at least with our clients, we've noticed that while we do share proof around money being made, number of clients, revenue, etc., as we've interviewed a lot of our clients, while they do care about making as much money as possible, it's not the primary result that they care about. When they saw and listened to a lot of our client interviews and they heard about falling back in love with the business, not working 60-hour work weeks anymore, having systems that make them more predictable, both in lead generation and clients getting results, having free time to focus on hobbies, not taking your laptop on vacation, those are all results that we have proof from and our clients have achieved that aren't necessarily tied to a specific, hey, we sold X dollars in revenue this month. Again, we have some of those, but if those are the only types of testimonials that you're sharing and your core client identity, the person that they're trying to become, doesn't only value money, your testimonials and your proof can't only focus on those things. So I challenge you to think about what are the byproducts and the results that your clients get that they value that might not be only financial driven. Again, when you scroll through Facebook, when we get clients coming to us that were in other programs that you could argue are competitors, the main difference is those groups only cared about money and that's all they cared about was that. And so when they saw our clients talking about, I love my life again, I have time for my family, my health is back in check, I've been able to go on vacations, like they come to us and they're like, hey, like that whole group was literally only about hustle culture, scale or die, and I just didn't vibe with it. And then they show up in our world and they're like, this is what I'm looking for. And that's not to poo-poo on anybody else's programs. Like I have friends that have, competitive programs to us and competitive service to us, but people will buy based off of more than just a financial result sometimes. And you might offer a service that has a lot of really beneficial results in working with you that you just don't talk about because maybe, like I did at one point, you felt like you only had to share financial wins. But the more that we share the non-financial wins, we see more of our ideal clients because while we do value money, we also value a lot of other things. So a quick recap, how we're going to attract our ideal clients is making sure in our marketing, in our videos like this, we're speaking towards first the identity of who you will become, what an alt agency owner is, looks like, operates like, and the benefits of that type of lifestyle and business and that empire that you're building. What is the second ingredient, the unique mechanism, our roadmap that actually takes them there? If you watch any other videos on this channel where I talk about 5 levels to this, our 9-step roadmap, those are all examples of us demonstrating our proprietary process in taking you from where you're at now to that new identity. And then we weave in our ads and our webinars and our video sales letter and our emails, the proof, the testimonials of clients that are sharing these different sorts of wins, again, that are not just financial. Why is this important now more than ever? If you are in a competitive market, which again, we work in the digital agency and creative agency kind of training market. If you're in the consulting or coaching or online information game, there's a lot of people flooding into this marketplace each and every day. And you having the boldest claim and the biggest guarantee when everyone else is offering similar guarantees is not going to make you stand out. And so the more competition that you start to see in the marketplace, as my friend James shared with me, the stronger that you need to, and the more you need to lean into the identity and the opportunity of who they're going to become as a result of the work together inside of your messaging. So I hope you find this useful. It's a conversation we've been having with our clients in our academy program for the last few months, because back in the day, our content was heavy on teaching, and it was only teaching. But if you're only ever teaching, you're never breaking down the problems or the limiting beliefs that your current client might have, or speaking into existence the things that they actually want to achieve that are the underlying reasons behind why they're in the game in the first place. So at some point, if you're in a competitive market, you need to start speaking into that identity of who they're going to become, your unique process. So if you don't have one, how do you package that up? We can help you with that if that's something you need to focus on, and then start sharing the proof that is beyond just you and beyond just the financial results. So I hope you found this useful. If you are looking to get more leverage inside of your delivery, evolve from a done-for-you agency into an alt agency, go ahead and check out the video here. I'll link to it in the description as well, because I break it down even further.